Hello, I am Paula Bennett and welcome to Season 7 of my New Zealand Herald podcast, Ask Me Anything. One thing I've learnt in life is it's never too late to learn something new. So on this podcast, I talk to people from all walks of life to hear about how they got to where they are, get some advice and guidance for us all on some of life's biggest questions. I am so excited to be back with you all again, bringing another batch of great guests for you all to listen to and learn from. So to kick off the new season, I've called in showbiz's hardest New Zealand working gal.
Wow.
I'm going to call you.
I like that.
I wonder if they'll guess by your voice there. They might. Yeah. You know, that's good. I like that.
Some people say I have a good voice, but some people think it's annoying.
I get exactly the same as you can imagine. Hayley Sproull is co-host of ZM's breakfast show. She's held many TV hosting roles. She's an actress, a writer, stand-up comedian, podcast host, Taskmaster winner, house renovator, marching girl. I'm sure I've missed something. Hi, Hayley.
Pianist.
Ah. Classic.
That was the start, the piano. That's where it started. My love of performance. It all started at the keys.
Really?
It's okay you left it out because it is a long list, isn't it? Hearing it back.
Isn't it great though?
It is good.
Why not be all of everything rather than just one something?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, some people are listening being like, undiagnosed ADHD, but I mean, surely.
Surely.
Aren't we all?
Yeah, we're all on the spectrum somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, quick fire questions.
Okay.
What is top of your bucket list?
Oh my gosh, I was literally thinking about this the other day. It used to be jump out of a plane, but for some reason my algorithm keeps showing me skydiving accidents.
Okay.
So I think that's gone. I want to live for a year in Thailand.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, that's my bucket list. It's my favourite place in the world, and I want to go and work at this animal welfare centre and just live and eat pad thai and get massages. And
Will you like
cats.
not being recognised?
I don't really get recognised that much.
Don't you?
Not too much. People, it was like in New Zealand, they're so chill still.
And then you could be mistaken for Melanie Bracewell or, you know what I mean? Like
as someone who does love being looked at and listened to constantly, I feel like when I'm in Thailand, I get that a little bit, being kind of like white and tall.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That they sort of look at you anywhere.
Last couple of months, twice, I've been mistaken for Karen Walker.
That's a compliment.
You're telling me.
It's the hair.
It is, hey. It's the
like
age.
cool grey hair.
Yeah, and they sort of go, I know you from somewhere.
Yeah. And the fashion glasses.
Yeah.
No, I can see that.
Twice. So I'm like, she's like half my size. She's twice my height. She's like this extremely talented woman.
Take it.
I'm like, I'm okay with that.
When people used to say to me all the time, oh my God, it's Melanie Bracewell, I'd be like, sure. She's hilarious. She's gorgeous. She's so funny. Like, why not?
Why not take it?
Yeah.
A morning person or a night owl, and I know that's a bit unfair because you do breakfast radio, but if you weren't doing breakfast radio,
night
would you
owl.
sleep in?
Night owl. Creativity for me kicks in the afternoon. So before radio, I would never get up before 9 unless I had to.
Yeah.
So and then I would stay up until like 1, 2, 3.
Nice.
But now that's...
I was going to ask you where in the world you'd live, but now I know because you'd go to Thailand for a year.
Well, I think I'll go there for a year. I've been thinking about this a bit because a lot of my friends I've got friends that are kind of doing their OEs later, like in their 30s, heading towards 40s, going to London and doing that. And I was like, I'd like to do that. I'd love to be a comedian in London and get on the panel shows, 8 out of 10 cats and all that. But I think I'd just do stints. I don't think I'd ever actually leave New Zealand for good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's quite a good way to do it. I've got godsons and kids in their 20s now, and I'm saying to them, now go and do 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
And actually we've got quite a few at one of my jobs. And I go, don't leave.
Yeah.
Go and do 4 or 5 months and then keep your job and come back and make some real money instead of working in a dingy pub.
Yeah.
So go,
I think that's
save, and then go and spend it all.
Yeah. I feel like I'm like my life as it is too much now to go and then work in a pub and live in a bedroom with 8 other people. Like that's just sort of passed me by.
Yeah.
So I sort of feel like if I was going to move somewhere, I'd want to be able to do minimum work.
But good work. Okay, the second half we're going to chat about your hustle life. Quite like that. And find out how on earth you manage it. So that's the sort of advice bit we're going into. So New Zealand International Comedy Festival program is out. This year you're hosting the big opener. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
it's sort of unbelievable to me. And I feel like perhaps it's still a joke.
Really?
Well, yeah. I mean, here's a little bit of imposter syndrome because the comedy gala is like the comedy gala. You know, it's like
it's a big deal.
where all these great comedians are. And the MC's always been someone who you're like, beloved comedian. And I feel like I've kind of like crept into being a comedian by being like, I was on TV and I was an actor, and then it kind of like transitioned into stand-up. And I was like, still when people say comedian Hayley Sproull, I'm always like, what a novelty. And then they give me this like top job and I'm like, oh, okay.
No, you're well loved and well respected.
Thank you.
As a comedian, although I am a big Golden Boy fan. So sorry, I just throw that in there. So what's your strategy? I mean, so because you do a bit of your own stand-up, and then are you going to take the piss out of everyone?
Well, you do, like you've got a big chunk at the top, and then you're basically just like, introducing everyone.
Yeah.
And then you get a chunk in the middle, and then we kind of move on, and you might have to do a little bit of, pop-up stuff here and there and get the audience warm. I think that's my number one thing. My strategy is to make sure that the audience is like having a good time, because then all your friends that like follow you afterwards, you've kind of killed the crowd.
Yeah.
That's a big no-no.
No.
In terms of like giving everyone a hard time, I don't know. Do you know most of the time my comedy is about giving myself a hard time? Like laughing. We can like allow the audience to laugh at themselves by laughing at me.
Yeah.
So that's always my strategy, is to just like pull from my own life and make fun of myself.
And that's a bit of the Kiwi humour as well.
Very
we like
self-deprecating.
people that are self-deprecating and don't take themselves too seriously.
Yeah.
And
there's nothing like coming out and roasting either a crowd or a bunch of comedians, and they don't know that it's a roast, and then you just end up looking like an asshole. Everyone's like, why is she being so nasty? You're like, I thought we were just like all having a bit of a banter, and then no one else does it, and you're like, oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Came in a bit strong there.
Yeah, okay. So how do you have the content? What goes into writing for this? I mean, and I want to talk about that a bit. You're a planner, you're a last-minute crammer. I mean, what do you do?
Yeah, pressure makes diamonds. That's me. I have always been a last-minute crammer. I did so well at high school, but I wasn't really that intelligent. I'm very good at memorising things at last notice. So I had a fun time at school, and then when the exams would come, I'd be like, right, 1 week, like hard cramming, and then I'd retain it all, and then I'd go into the room and I'd spew it all out onto the paper, and they'd be like, that was excellent, and I just let it go.
Yeah. And then
so I feel like I sort of left high school like not as intelligent as my marks said it was. So I've always been like a last-minute Larry. But in terms of the actual content, like because it is, you only get to do this once, and it's a big gig, you're in front of, 1,000 or something, plus people, plus then the TV crowd, you're encouraged to do kind of your best stuff.
Yeah.
So stuff that you've probably done before, stuff that, for me, the hard bit is like crowd friendly, like everyone friendly, TV friendly, not too racy, not too much about your vagina. And I'm like, okay, what have I got left?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're rolling all that out.
Just like flicking through the books, like, okay, I'll find some things. So I'm definitely going to do like my favourite jokes that I've done before. And then I have a little surprise for the top of the show. It's going to be pretty like dramatic and big and musical.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm looking out for it, and I'm really looking forward to it. And you're off to the Melbourne Comedy Festival?
I am. That's my first time. So I did my show last year, Wild Flutters, and I really loved it. So I sort of toured it around the country a bit. And then Live Nation Australia was like, do you want to bring it over to Australia? And I just sort of thought, with radio, it's too hard. I can't just be buggering off and doing this second job. But then the team was like, no, we'll make it work. So the way we're making it work is I'll be doing radio in Australia at 3 a.m. every morning.
Wow.
And then performing at 9:30 p.m. Australia time.
Yeah.
At night. And then not sure what I'm going to do in between, either sleep or don't sleep or I don't know. But this is it. I just like, you're like this. I just want to do everything. Just say yes.
And then work out how you make it work.
Yeah. And then
Joan Rivers.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, I just love, we're going to talk about the comedy scene, but,
yeah.
Because we've got so many amazing Kiwis that are doing so well as well internationally and things like that. But I was just thinking, as I was coming here to interview you, and I was like, do we have older comedians? Like, with acting a lot, they say there's, a cut-off date, although I love that that's stretching for women
that
now,
is changing.
writing their own, being their own producers and all the rest of it. But I was thinking, Joan Rivers.
Yeah.
And she would just say, I said yes to everything.
Yeah.
The fear of being poor, again, meant I had to work. So I'm not sure. Yeah.
Mine's not like the fear of being poor or like it all kind of going away, because I feel like I'll go find another job and it will be fine. You know, I can fold clothes or I can go and be good at something else. Mine is like, I'm just opportunistic, and I feel like you never know which door could have led somewhere bigger. So, you know, you take on these little gigs. You don't know that could be the gig where you met this person and they said this, or like, oh, you'd be perfect for that. And it kind of gets, you know, your career can kind of grow that way. So I never say no. And it's that fresh out of drama school kind of like headspace that you don't shake. Even when things are going really well and you've got like a nice solid radio job, you're still like, oh, you never know.
But it does feel quite cool at the moment. It feels like we've always had amazing people, but you know, you just look at Rose Matafeo, you look at Ursula Carlson. I just think Tom Sainsbury's like that. He just says yes to kind of everything.
Yeah, he's exactly the same. We've talked about it before.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're doing all right. He's like, yeah, I know. And I'll just keep going.
Yeah, I'll just keep going while I am. And so do you think that the New Zealand comedy scene is going well?
I do.
Yeah.
I think there's a big change. I mean, I still feel relatively fresh. And when I've got lots of friends, you know, because I do the 7 days live tour every year. So that's like Ben Hurley, Jeremy Corbett, Paul Ego, Juzzy Smith, Josh Thompson. And it's like that, they've been around for years and years and years and years, and they're always telling me about the old days and how it was different. And so I don't really know that, so I can't really compare the two. But my experience of it now is like, it is thriving, and so many people are so funny. My only like fear for it is like, I don't know how comedians are making money, because everything got cancelled. You know, have you been paying attention? Got cancelled. A lot of shows have been cancelled. 7 days numbers have been cut down. And if you're not one of those comedians that gets the few little TV spots, I'm like, how are we making money? We're just doing gigs every week.
And continuing to do it and saying yes to things.
Saying yes to things, basically. Like me, say yes to a job in radio. I still get to be funny and entertain people. I know lots of comedians are doing marketing, you know, because you can use your humour in that way.
So you touched on it just before, having to keep it reasonably clean for the opening of the Comedy Gala. So talk to me about, I mean, you give yourself a lot publicly.
Yeah.
I'm an oversharer, so I totally relate.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's embarrassing. You just think, did you really need to know all that about me?
I never get embarrassed. That's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
On radio, you just don't hold back. On your sex life, we learn some intimate things about you. You've shared your colonoscopy prep through videos.
Yeah.
That's a lot. You've talked openly about your polycystic ovarian syndrome.
Yeah.
So is it natural for you to do that? Like, because you don't get embarrassed, so that's good.
I've learned it, I think. Do you know, I think it did start with the PCOS stuff, polycystic ovaries, because that was quite a shameful thing, and it can be quite embarrassing because a lot of the symptoms of PCOS, they're like physical. You can see them: hairiness, bad skin, weight gain, all this kind of stuff. And I think for women in particular, that can like bring a lot of shame, and so you sort of don't want to talk about it. And then I made this documentary, this like mini documentary of TVNZ, and I made it with them and put it out into the universe. And the amount of response I got back from other women being like, oh, it's just so nice to hear someone like you talk about it. And I was like, oh, okay. And then it kind of grew from there, that talking about it, whatever it is, be it sex or colonoscopies or my ovaries, has like, kind of like bled its way into being basically my brand, like that I'll just say anything and embrace the mankiness of life and try to like reduce my own shame and others who are going through the same thing by just being very like casual and open about it. And it works.
This week I've been on Dave Latelli talking about my weight, you know, and weight loss, and just, you know, and the shame that I felt at times and all that. And I was just thinking about it the other day because I knew it was coming out, and I was just like, oh God, did you have to do so? And then I was like, there will be people out there that just need to hear it.
Yes.
You know, like that are really sitting there and feeling that and will go, thank you, you know?
Especially looking like, you could look at you and be like, oh my gosh, she looks stunning, you know, and it's Paula, she's so glamorous and da-da-da-da-da, and look at her, she lives this great life. And you're like, I had a really shameful time, especially being like, I feel that being in the public eye, fluctuating weight, it's awful. And people making comments and all sorts. It's like, it's horrendous. And so I think by talking about it and kind of normalizing it and being honest with how you feel about it is a very powerful thing.
Well, I did love on your social media when someone complimented your skin and you went, no, that's a filter.
Oh, yeah. Or someone, like my one is, when I'm on TV and people are like, your hair is amazing. I was like, I bought this in a shop. Like, none of this is real. And then I'll like rip out all my extensions and be like, this isn't real. None of this is real. Oh my God, you look incredible. Your skin looks incredible. I'm like, that's a professional has put that on my face.
No, I do that as well.
Yeah,
that magazine that you did. And I go, oh my God, that was like 8 hours of someone else's.
100%.
Someone went out and chose those clothes. Someone sat there and did here, like.
Or they're like, oh my God, that photo of you. And you're like, that was definitely like 20 kgs ago.
Okay, let's come back to sex life. Because the podcast is absolutely huge. Why do you think it's so successful? I've got a theory, by the way.
Oh, I'd love to hear your theory. I think it's, for me, I think it's the combination of, it's sort of like, it's a very like old French thing of like having the smart clown and the dumb clown. And you've got two clowns, they come out into the circus and one of them like knows everything and is in control. And the other person, being me, is like kind of clueless. And I feel like Morgan and I do a really good job of that. She's got all the knowledge and she's so intelligent about sex and everything, and I'm just there being like flabbergasted, and I just ask the questions that I think that the people want to ask. Like the dumb person just being like, what? Tell me what? Like, what did the school smell like, Morgan? And we want to know.
And it's like, and because I've had Morgan on the show at the beginning of the season last year, so she was amazing, and I probably had more feedback, particularly from women probably a bit younger than me, but that sort of 45 to 60. And just going, that was the most empowering one of yours I've ever listened to. It's kind of the questions that I never thought, and I probably wouldn't have gone and listened to Sex Life because I would have thought that that's too risque. And
or thinking maybe it was a bit crass maybe, and just being vulgar.
Now they're all signed up and just went. And I think, as you say, it's kind of that, look, let's be honest, we've always all got questions at different times and stages in our lives, and we don't know where to go and where to ask them because you punch something into the computer and you've got porn.
Oh, I know, exactly.
Not that that's happened to me, but that's what I imagine might happen.
I imagine as well, if you put a number of keywords into a search bar, it's going to bring up some videos. I think that's the thing, is she's so unfiltered as well. So when you put the two of us together, you don't actually know how far it's going to go. And then it goes so far that my dad, bless him, my parents want to support everything I do, but he did give me a text and was like, tapping out. I'm tapping out of Sex.life. Proud of you, but no thank you.
But I've done my bit.
Definitely ended up sharing like a lot more than maybe, not that I wanted to, I'm happy to share, but then I expected I was going to. Because you just kind of can't hold back in that context.
I love in 2016 you said you identified as a disconnected quarter-caste Māori with white skin.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah. But you lost your grandmother?
Yes, and I made a show about it. Yeah, I made this show called Vanilla Miraka like years ago with Takirua Theatre Company, and it was all about kind of when you lose that the woman who like represented the Māoriness in your life, suddenly realising like, oh, I don't really know anything, or I didn't really ask her anything, or I so don't feel right heading home to the marae, and I don't feel like I belong there, but where do I belong, and what am I, and what can I say, and am I Māori? And so I made a show about it, and it was quite like, I don't know, some people found it controversial, some people were upset by it, and a lot of other people really related to it, because I think there's a lot of people.
Tariana Turia, who's just recently passed, I worked with her for years, and I'd sit there sometimes and when it's just her and I and we're waiting for someone, and I'd say to her, I just, I don't fit and I'm embarrassed that I haven't got this. And she would say, you represent more Māori than I do.
Yeah, 100%.
There's more people like you in West Auckland sitting in a house in Rānui with a disconnect and knowing that they've got the feeling and knowing that actually it is an ingrained part of them, but not knowing how to find that and express it. So she, good on her. She was just such a woman of such stature that she made me feel good.
And I think Māori, like, you can't just say Māori looks one certain way, or to be Māori, you have to tick these boxes. Like, if you're Māori, you're Māori. And I remember that one particular theatre maker at the time said to me, you actually don't know what it's like to be Māori. And I said, no, and I'm not trying to say that I understand your experience of being Māori, but you don't know mine either. And
Okay, so you're the reigning Taskmaster New Zealand champion.
Yes, and I will say that Jeremy Wells's head statue that you win made quite the appearance at my New Year's Eve party.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, he really...
Because he said it was horrific getting it done, that you literally had like straws up your nose.
Yeah. I didn't
And
think
then
it was like a real trophy.
And then getting... the
plaster and all that done.
Yeah.
It's like horrendously heavy.
Okay, so that was season 5. So in the UK, after 5 seasons, they do a champion of champions.
I know.
Do you reckon? Because who would win? I mean, come on, you'd be up. What I've got it here: Angela Dravid, Laura Daniel.
Yeah.
She'd be.
Yeah.
Well, she was. I've watched them all.
Yeah.
Josh Thompson, good friend of yours as well. Melanie,
and me,
Bracewell, and you. Imagine
go the
that.
girls.
Go the girls.
I mean, I love Josh, but go the girls. I think it's funny because Mel and I are good friends, and she was telling me when she went on it, she was so embarrassed about how competitive she was. And I said, yeah, that would be my fear as well. I'm very competitive, and I am prone to winning. Let's just say. I mean, not prone to, but I with marching, I've always marched for very successful marching teams. Through hard work, I win. So when I went on the show, I was like, oh my God, Mel, I get it. Like, I'm embarrassed at how much I want to win this. And I even said it to Ben Hurley one day during the show. He was like, what, do you care about winning? I was like, yes, deeply.
Whereas I think I'd be like Justine. I'd give it a good go, but then, oh well.
And it's,
I'll go and have a wine over here and wait for you all to do your thing.
And the winning is only good for the winner. Everyone loves the loser more than the winner. You know, they're just like, they feel it's a funnier thing to be the loser of a not real competition.
Okay, you've dodged it. Of the 5, you girls could kill each other. Like Melanie could push you off a cliff or something.
Here's the thing though, like Angela Dravid, you think, oh no, okay. If you're in a room with like me and Laura, who are very loud and very like bolshy, you're probably going to think that Angela Dravid might get trampled, but she's sly. She's very sly. My money, I mean, I would desperately want to win. I think it would bring out the worst in me and Mel. I think we would probably have a genuine fight. I believe I would take it.
Okay, got to watch it.
I believe I would take it.
TV Land, beam us in, please. Okay, so we've touched on the classical music. We've touched on the marching.
Yeah.
We've touched on, and yet Slipknot are here next week.
I know, and I am so ready. And I've been
the goth girl.
I know. So I was a goth when I was 13. I went to private school, and it was very poncy. And I got there, and I didn't realize I was a bit sort of clumsy in 13. And these 2 goths, Beatrice and Jaja, walked down the hall.
Fantastic.
I know. They were 3 years older, and I was like, what is that? Like, I must be part of this. So, yeah, I just did a full transformation to goth, and I got really into the music. And then as I kind of grew out of the fashion side of it, I've just kept hold of being a metal girl.
Did Mum and Dad like the goth stage?
Yeah, they thought it was quite entertaining.
Yeah.
My parents were very open-minded. My brother was in bands, so he was a bit sort of alternative too. I think they probably had a good chuckle.
I love it.
Yeah.
I've said it to all mine, particularly in their teens and that sort of thing, like not necessarily go goth, but for God's sakes, cut your hair, dye it.
Yeah, have a personality.
You're going to get old before you know it.
Totally. And I had these like boyfriends that had like eyeliner and nail polish and stuff. They would have thought it was so funny. I just think they would have I think they really enjoyed it.
I love that.
And I wasn't super naughty or rebellious against them.
Yeah.
So
nice.
That was good.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we are going to chat hustle life and how you juggle your many, many roles. Okay, you are back with Ask Me Anything.
Oh, wait, no, the audience is back.
The audience is back, but you are back too. You sat up straight.
I did.
You know, like, it's quite empowering. And today, of course, everyone, we've got Hayley Sproull with us. Now, Hayley, I said before, and I think I'm right, you must be the busiest woman in showbiz at the moment. I feel like you're just doing so much and you're a bit everywhere, and I think that's great. So does the variety of it all suit you?
Yes, it does. And that's why radio was an interesting choice for me, because I've never had a solid job. I've never had something where someone said, you have to be here at this time, Monday to Friday. And so when I got it, I was like, ooh. I just was a little bit like, I don't think I want that at all. And people were like, what? Security and a regular income. I was like, oh, how horrendous. But I think, I was kind of thrown by the idea of it. But once I figured out that I was going to be able to still do literally everything else, it kind of brings like just another new energy to my life. So
And the fact that it's so early in the morning, right? So you can still do all of these.
Yeah, I have a second day. And I think you could choose not to, like you could have a little sleep or whatever and have a quieter life. But that really works for me, finishing about 9.
So you won Best Newcomer at the New Zealand International Comedy Festival in 2012.
Wow, was it that long ago? Yeah. God, that was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago, I was thinking.
Yeah.
And so your rise since then has just been huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what do you put it down to?
Well, here's the thing. I went to drama school to be an actor, and then I sort of feel like in my third year, I realised not that I wasn't very good at it, but that I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought that I would, because we were doing Shakespeare's. I mean, we were like, in my second year, we performed a play based on the Holocaust. And I was like, wow, I'm really hating this. Like, this is not at all enjoyable to me. I just want to entertain people. And I love it when people laugh at me. So my third year, I sort of pivoted and I was like, right, I'm just going to make like funny works. And I started doing that and absolutely loving it. Then I left drama school and I was like, wow, no one told me there was actually no work for actors.
Really?
Okay, what a great use of money that I've just spent. And then I think I was just like, well, I'm so restless and I'm really like, I really just want to be an entertainer. I'm not going to sit around and wait for these auditions. And for someone to hand the job to me, I'm just going to have to create it myself. So I just started doing that. I started making solo shows. I started touring them up to Auckland because I was living in Wellington. Then like someone saw me in that. So then I started doing a show here. Then I emailed the head writer at Jono and Ben and I was like, can I have a job? And she was like, we don't have one. I was like, I'm just going to come on Monday and we'll just like see how it goes. And then from that I got Baker. From there I got Golden Boy. And then, do you know what I mean? Like I just sort of didn't really wait for it to be handed to me.
And so that's your advice to people, right?
Yeah, and especially in a
market like that.
Yeah, when there's not the jobs just sitting around up for grabs, and if you want to be one of the lucky few who actually get to make a career out of being the thing they want to be, which is an entertainer, you just can't wait.
So how do you do this? How do you get started in the solo shows? So would you go along to the comedy club or something?
No. So as part of my third year at drama school, you make a 20-minute solo. I accidentally made a 45-minute one. Mm-hmm. So it was, and it had songs and it had jokes, and I played this kind of like unhinged teacher called Miss Fletcher. So when I left, I only had to extend it a little bit, and it was a full 1 hour show. And I was like, okay, great, I'll just do this.
But where do you do it, and how do you get this audience? Do you just
like approach a venue and you start at the dingiest, cheapest venues, and then people hopefully think it's good, and then another venue might be like, come and do it here, and you get bigger and bigger and bigger. And then definitely like since being on TV, then your audience comes a little bit more, and then being on radio, now they turn up in like hordes. So yeah, you do have to kind of do it all yourself, especially if you want some money.
So has it been a smooth ride?
Smoother than a lot of others. I feel like I've been right place, right time. I mean, I do work hard. I don't want to put it down to luck, but like, I don't know. I just sort of connected in with the right people at the right time, got into that Jono and Ben crew. That kind of opened me up to the TV world a lot more. So it has been going smoothish.
Is there something that's more demanding or that you enjoy more than others? And I was just thinking, you sort of talked about acting and watching you on Golden Boy, whereas I've been on the Celebrity Baker, so I've sort of seen how that's made, and it's not all. But so is it quite different doing a TV series like that than it is doing your sort of game shows, if you like, or entertainment shows?
It is. You kind of like I like the switch. Like Bake Off, you kind of got to. I mean, I get to be myself on Bake Off for sure, but
it's got a it's got routine. It's
got quite a especially because the UK one is so amazing. They really do want you to kind of like stick to that kind of role of being like silly and jolly and kind of playful. And then I go like host something like Have You Been Paying Attention? I'm like, right, I'm the boss. Like I'm in charge. Like this is my room, and you kind of switch there. And then being 7 an actor on Golden Boy is really fun. 7 days is like sitting at a barbecue with your friends. But then I'm writing a new show, writing a solo comedy show and then performing that, like that would be the most demanding.
So how do you get the ideas for writing? I've spoken to Ursula a lot because Westies, fellow Westies, of course, and she would say, I'm that person that when something happens, I'll think, I could have gone this way and that would be so funny.
Yeah. She's got a good imagination like that. I wish I had my phone, but I write, it's so vulnerable. On my notes app, I write joke. And I just write a line. It could be a joke. It could be a prompt for a joke. It could be an observation, or like it'll just say joke, tea towels. And then I've got to come back to it months later and be like, what did I think was funny there? You know? And so when it comes to like writing a show, what I'm doing, like I'm doing now, or if I was just like putting together a new set to do at the comedy club, I go through that and I like look at them all and I just try to explore them. And then I'm quite bad at sharing work before it's ready. Yeah. So I won't do it. So I'll often be in a room on my own, be at my garage or this little space that I hire in town sometimes, and I just get on a microphone and I just like start talking out loud to no one until I think it's funny. Okay. And then I'll write it down or record it. And then hopefully you come back to it and it's still funny.
So that's you. You sort of not withdraw, but you go into your own space.
Yeah. And then I'll put it on stage and let the public decide.
Yeah.
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 And sometimes they decide it's not funny. Yeah. Like I did a gig last week and I wrote 8 minutes of really fresh stuff for that night. And I was like, this is a great observation. It's intelligent. This is really making a commentary on the difference between da-da-da-da-da. Funny, funny, funny. I get up there. It was just cack. It was like silence. And I went, oh no. Like I really thought I had some good stuff here. And it was like, no.
We all need the odd one like that, though. Yeah. That reminds us, you know.
It hurts in the moment and you just wish that the like earth would swallow you whole. But yeah, otherwise.
So pick yourself up from that, right?
Yeah, you got to pick yourself up.
We're going to, if it's your kids that are in their 3rd year of drama school out there that you're listening and they're wondering where they're going to go and what they're going to do.
Yeah.
Get a plan.
Get a plan and just don't wait for anyone else. Be the driver of your own career. You have to be, because you'll always believe in yourself, but like you're not going to walk into a room, an audition room or whatever and impress every single one.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's very cutthroat. So for me, it's like I sort of lulled myself into believing I was doing it, even though no one was giving me any money or giving me any jobs. I was like, man, I've got a show on and I'm doing this. I've got a poster and da-da-da-da-da. You sort of make yourself believe like, oh, I am a performer.
Yeah.
And then when you believe it more, it kind of happens more.
And so that combination that we were talking about, so you've got the stability with the radio job that you've been in since 2022, right? I know, we're in 3 years now.
Yeah.
It's sneaking on past.
Yeah.
So you've got, so you've been there, then you've got your solo shows, you're writing, more TV gigs, you're still doing 7 days.
Yeah, I've written a movie.
Yeah.
That's getting made.
Wow.
I can't say anything about it, but I have written a movie and it's... it will be getting made sort of soon.
I like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's not
exciting.
A comedy, that's all I can say.
Isn't it?
No. Strange, eh?
No, but I didn't think Golden Boy wasn't a comedy.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, yeah.
It was some of the most... Paula, you just didn't find it funny.
No, I did, but I went on the journey.
It was a comedy.
I was invested in the character.
Yeah, me too. I actually loved playing Mitch so much.
Yeah. No, it was funny, don't get me wrong, but I was emotionally...
You've already said it wasn't funny. Your feedback's been received, don't worry. It got cancelled anyway.
I was emotionally... Yes, I was emotionally invested.
Like everything else I do, it got cancelled, don't worry.
So do you say no to things? How on earth are we juggling everything? So someone that's just...
I'm trying to think of the last thing I said no to. I got invited to go to the Vinger Boys and it was a weeknight and I said no. And I felt so proud of myself. I told 3 people, I said, guess what I just did? I said no to going out on a weeknight because I'll be tired for radio. And they were like, very proud of you.
Yeah, good girl.
Yeah, good girl. I don't say no to a lot. I'm trying to more and more. Little gigs and stuff. If I've got too many on the go, I'll be like, oh no, I don't need
I'm allowed to say good girl because how old are you?
35.
Yeah, you're younger than my daughter.
Yeah, I'm very young. And actually getting younger.
Yes. You're reverting.
Yeah.
Yes, so I'm quite good now.
No, you're not.
Well,
not at all.
I pick my charity work.
Okay.
Whereas I probably always used to feel guilty and just think, oh, God. Or,
I have to.
Or thank goodness someone's actually asked me to do something. So when I first got out of politics, it was like, oh, God, yes.
Yes, of course.
Now I'm a bit like, I actually want to give more to a few.
Yes.
And spread I want to use my brain as well as
Yeah.
the sort
Yeah,
of
that's
other
nice.
skills that I've got.
Yeah, emceeing's I really enjoy it and I do it a lot. But
it is relatively easy.
It is relatively easy work, and I'm kind of the same. I'll prioritise the sort of more charity-based ones than, I don't need to do another like media awards or this, that. You kind of, I've done them enough.
And they're rewarding, right? I mean, I saw you at the Mercy Hospice and, you can just know that you're raising for such a good...
Cure Kids.
Yeah.
I love working with them. But it's, there's sometimes like when I've said yes to a corporate gig that is just for money and I'm just there to help pay for my new roof, there'll be, and I've done radio that morning and maybe I've had something else to do, I will definitely be driving there going, I'll tell you, I'm honest, I'd love to go home.
Yeah.
But then once you get into it, the performer in you comes out and it's absolutely fine, you have a great time.
Yeah.
But I am trying to get better at saying no to things during the week because the 4 a.m. alarm is pretty brutal. And other than Slipknot, that's on a Tuesday and I'll just have a late night.
You're just going to have to do it.
I'll just have to do it.
So how do you make sure you don't burn out? I mean, you say you get your energy from people. But we've all still only got limited energy, don't we?
Apparently. I haven't ever burnt out. I've had moments, I'll get sick, that my body will just tell me. I have moments with it. And I think that this, like my partner Aaron's constantly like, jeepers, like just chill out. But I have to remember when I'm 35, which is extremely young. And in fact, I'm getting younger. And I don't have any kids. So that's like a huge part of life that I actually don't have to worry about or have the energy. I couldn't imagine how difficult that is. And I really do. I just have more energy than a lot of people. And I've always been like that. So I don't need, I think, as much off time as perhaps other people might think.
But then how's the renovating going?
It's nearly finished.
Is it?
Yeah, that's been the hardest
that would be
bit.
hard. I'd get home and I'd just go, you frickin' kidding.
Yeah, I'd like to take a wee in a toilet. That'd be nice, not a bucket or a portaloo. Yeah, the renovation was hard, but I don't know. I would only have a little moan about it to my partner or certain friends, because it is pretty stupid to be like, oh, my life, my renovation is exhausting me. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm very lucky to be able to renovate. But that's basically all finished.
I do kind of like it though because it's a bit like me, whereas I sort of make my living talking really. It's something that's tangible.
Yes.
Like you can see the work, which is quite exciting.
Yeah, for sure. Like every day you'd come home. And also I was lucky, my partner worked on it full time. So like he bore the brunt of it. I would come home and you get to see exciting things. And like it's hard to sort of get upset about peeing in a bucket for 9 months when, I don't know, my wardrobe's getting built or, the TV's arrived or something. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. For someone wanting to break into the arts industry, what would your advice be to them? Well, would you tell them to do it?
I know. Do you know what I was about to say? Don't.
Don't.
No.
I say that about politics. Don't.
Yeah, don't do it. But you know in yourself that the draw towards doing that is unstoppable.
Yeah.
So I'm always like, if a parent said to me, oh, my kid, my daughter wants to get into something, I'm always like, make sure that she really is passionate about it. And then this is a passion and a must do.
Yeah.
Because it's not a, maybe I'll feel it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's, for me, I was like, I had to have really wanted it. I can say all the inspiring stuff like believe in yourself and, back yourself and da-da-da-da-da. But I also believe very much in the power of networking and making an effort. I have a lot of friends who are very good at the art, but not good at the putting themselves out there, networking, the business side of things.
Yeah.
So
good advice.
Yeah, I would really get invested in that kind of thing. Like, where am I going? Who am I meeting? Who do I need to connect with? Who's the head of this thing? Who's the head writer here? Who's on at the Classic all the time, the comedy club? Who's this? And just get to know everyone and who you should be knowing. Because if you don't know that, it's just, there's so many young, hopeful performers, you'll just get missed.
And they'll miss you, right? Because the opportunities come up and they go.
Yeah.
And it's who's top of mind kind of thing, or hungry for it, or they're going to be reliable, they're going to turn up on time, they're going to turn up reasonably sober, one hopes.
Yeah, one hopes, yeah.
And actually do the job.
Yeah. And that's why I think creating your own work or coming up with something of your own, it was a short film or, do some poetry nights or submit some writing. It's good because you're basically auditioning without auditioning. You're not waiting for your agent to say, okay, at 12:10 you're going to go to this casting company, you're going to do this. You are putting yourself out there and people will see it if it's good.
And you may not be Reese Witherspoon overnight.
No. In fact, you will not be. It takes time. Or, go to LA and give that a shot if you've got the balls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's not much overnight massive success.
I haven't seen it yet.
No. Okay, to end this segment, I ask every guest, what was the best advice you were given?
I've got 2, and it's our family mottos. They're kind of similar. It used to always be, what's the worst that can happen? And that was my mum, was she would no matter what we were doing, because we'd put yourself into scary things like piano competitions or marching in front of the Edinburgh Castle or, performing. And I used to get terrible stage fright, terrible for someone who loves performing. And my mum would always try to remind me, what's the worst that could happen?
Yeah, no.
And then when you actually logically run through it, you go, they don't like it, they don't laugh, and then it's over an hour and I get to go home. Not that bad, really. I'm not trying to save a life. I'm not doing anything like that. So then you can kind of go out, I feel a bit alleviated. And then our family motto, which I actually got tattooed on me last year, is drink it while it's fizzy. And it's my mum's just grabbing life by the balls, being opportunistic and just not sitting around and waiting. While it's fizzy, drink it.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I like it. Podcast is called Ask Me Anything. So this is your opportunity to ask me something if you like.
Have you listened to much of Sex.life? It's okay.
About 2/3.
Okay, but you know the tone of it.
Yeah, totally.
Okay. I want to ask you, because I think we talked about this on one of the episodes. Okay, you don't have to answer it. Where is the wildest place that you've made love?
Oh.
I'll give you mine to start.
Then.
Was on a rooftop in Stratford-upon-Avon next to the birthplace of Shakespeare.
Wow. I'm just not sure. Mine's so long ago. That's what's disappointing. It's just I
think it was the couch.
Yeah, I was out with a whole bunch of people that didn't really know that well, and anyway, I went up to the bar to get drinks, and I couldn't carry them all, and so I'd put my credit card down my bra and my phone down my bra and my glasses I'd hooked there, and I sort of got to the table and I started unloading all the stuff, and it's actually one of the Herald producers, and he said to me, "What else have you got down there?" And I said, "A guy that I've been missing since 1989.
He went down for a good time. He's absolutely been lost.
No one's seen him. I mean, he could still be down there, and I
love
dropped some crumbs, and he might sort of still be
great
here.
handbags we're born with.
Yeah, so it could have been. So I mean, I'm probably quite boring. It's probably just all the sort of the beach stuff.
Great! A little outdoor,
the little outdoorsies.
Okay, I love this. Can I ask you another question? What is, because you're a woman in the public eye, I'd love to know what the rudest thing anyone's ever said to you was. As someone in the public eye.
You're just gonna. The one that honestly, I just left me flabbergasted was this guy walked up to me in the street and he said, "I bet you've got a green vagina full of maggots."
What the hell?
And then just walked away. I mean, what do you do with that?
What do you even do with that?
What do you do with it?
It's so odd.
So now my friends, it's become this joke. You know how Siri reads out your text to you in the car?
Yeah.
If they know I'm in my car, they text me saying, "How's your green
vagina full of maggots?
How's your green vagina?"
People are so odd.
And I'm 55. And then we go, and it's still fun. You'd think we were 16 or something.
I think it's so wild, the stuff that people say, particularly to women in the eye, I did
you had to give him points for originality.
Oh, God, yeah.
No, really.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I loved someone that wrote to me, handwritten, and it was I'm not going to do this perfectly, but it was I went in to get my benefit and they told me that I had to get this thing. And then in just the biggest caps, sort your shit out.
Oh, yeah, they're really,
I was I felt it, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, good on you. Put some effort in.
Yeah. I love a caps.
Green for JJ.
Green for JJ is outrageous.
Full of maggots.
Full of maggots is the cream on top.
That's kind of awful.
Thank you for sharing, Chief.
Well, you has.
No, it's good.
The producer he's laughing. He's going to work out whether or not he leaves that in, isn't he? Okay, I've loved getting to know you better, so thank you.
Thank you, Paula.
Okay, so we're going to get more of you. So we can listen to you on the radio.
You can listen to me on the radio in the mornings.
Yes.
Yeah.
International Comedy Festival.
Yeah.
Head to comedyfestival.co.nz.
And then you can come and see me in Auckland or Wellington in May, or at the Gala, the Best Foods Comedy Gala, hosting that.
I've got catch Hayley's show, The Baroness.
Yep, that's the new Comedy Fest show.
May 7 to 10 in Wellington, May 16 in Auckland.
I remember those dates too, Paul. I'm just putting them in my calendar.
And you make sure you turn up. That's just a thing.
It'll be ideal.
That would be ideal. All right, so check Hayley out. You're going to see her everywhere. Go and watch her on TV for the Comedy Festival because they need eyes on so that we can keep this thing going.
Yes.
Okay, that's it for another episode of Ask Me Anything. If you have enjoyed this episode, please follow Ask Me Anything on iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure you check out some of our past fabulous guests because there really have been some great ones. I'll be back next Sunday. I'm Paula Bennett. Ask Me Anything. Goodbye.